So how cool was that? So my aircraft, and such a humble guy as well. I thought that was really quite amazing. So when he phones his wife and tells me just crashed an aircraft, and we think from our side, so you know, yes, Arlene, yes, the printer jammed. I won't be home for at least an hour. It's just a different class. So, as the newest addition to the OPITO leadership team, it's really a pleasure for me to be with you here today, and I really want to meet as many people as possible over the next 2 days. My role is also new. I want to spend a few minutes just explaining that. So basically, my role and the role of my directorate really follows on from John's 4 C's. Can anyone remember those 4 C's? Collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. So we've all seen huge changes in the industry. The past couple of years, through the downturn, massive changes. But with each cycle, the industry evolves and it grows. The same thing that Jeff was talking about. As illustrated earlier through John, the application of new technologies, the emergence of new roles, the obsolescence of old skills, and in this part of the world, and in the Middle East, of course, is the drive for maximum value through localization. And this is all set against a context of an increased demand for hydrocarbons. So if this is the context, how does it impact OPITO, and how do we respond to that? Well, firstly, we have to remind ourselves that OPITO is owned by the industry, that our standards are developed through industry partnerships and working groups, and we strive to be as inclusive as possible with their stakeholders through employer and training provider forums. Our first responsibility is to remain relevant to the industry, be engaged, and add value. And we believe through engagement, we can learn, evolve, and share best practice and create opportunity for all of our stakeholders. The OPITO board has recognized the importance of engaging with stakeholders because when done well, everybody involved in the process benefits. This could be the development of new standards, it could be new qualifications, but it could also be supporting national oil companies, international oil companies, supporting regions, regulators, industry partnerships, governments to adopt new and common standards, drive efficiency, and improve safety. As a result of this thinking, the board decided to put more resources into this area with the appointment of myself and the Directorate of Strategic Development, alongside 3 vice presidents, one in KL, here in KL, one in Dubai, and one in Houston. Please look out for the guys. There's 2 of them here today, Hart Victor and Richard Roberts. They're here today and tomorrow, so please talk to them, engage with them. Hart is based here in KL and looks after the Asia-Pacific region. Richard in Dubai, looking after Middle East and Africa. We expect the Houston position to be filled later this year, so you'll hear more about that when we're ready to announce that. And to collectively, our team role is to seek out opportunity for engagement that leads to further adoption and extension of our industry-owned standards. Let me be clear, we're not OPITO salespeople. We're not here to push accreditations and push approvals into training providers, and we're certainly not here to compete with training providers. They're our partners. We're here to collaborate. We're here to think critically. We're here to be a creative organization and communicate. See what I did? The 4 C's? Yeah? So this is OPITO trying to be what we say we are. I also want to provide an introduction for Paul, our next speaker, and some background around a key piece of activity that OPITO have been leading in the skill space in the UK. This work focuses on future-proofing the UK industry's workforce requirements, a challenge that's not specific to the UK, but also has an international context and international parallels, which I hope you'll find interesting. Phase 1 of this work began with an underpinning labour market intelligence study, which we commissioned from Robert Gordon University's Oil and Gas Institute. The study culminated in the launch and publication of our Workforce Dynamics Review, which provides an assessment of the oil and gas industry skills requirements in the UK CS over the next 20 years. Understanding the landscape, addressing where the industry is now, after a period of severe volatility, has given us a fundamental baseline from which to work. Now, we've since moved on to phase 2 of the project, and in the future there will be a phase 3. So in phase 2, we'll evaluate and articulate the skills changes in the industry. We'll assess and prioritise the changes in skills required over the next decade, And finally, we wanted to address how these changes can be implemented. How can we operationalise this? For us, it's really important that our research results are actionable. The longer-term strategy for skills will help us to take action now and prepare for the emerging roles in the future and ensure that the existing workforce, the very large existing workforce, is given the opportunity to upskill in the right way at the right time. So in other words, to remain relevant, to be engaged, and to add value.